This video explains how to use the timeline tool. You can use this tool to create a timeline yourself. We begin by creating a timeline in the edit mode. Firstly, define the time frame for the new timeline. Click the timeline button and enter the desired start and end dates. You can then give the timeline a color. Once you've entered the desired information, press Modify to adjust the timeline. As you can see, the full time frame is displayed at the top of the tool. We're now going to add a time period to the timeline. Select the option Time Period. Enter your start and end date and give the time period a title and its own color. You can use Add to insert the time period in the timeline. Changes can be made at any time in the edit mode. Don't forget to save them with the option Modify. You can remove a time period with the Delete option. We now insert a new time period. Each time period that is added will be displayed at the top in the full time frame. Clicking on the timeline allows you to link an important event to the timeline or time period. We call this an anchor point. In addition to a title, extra information and a start and end date, you can also add an image, an illustration, a video or a link to the anchor point. If you wish to zoom in or out on the timeline, you can use the scroll bar at the bottom of the toolbox or the magnifying glasses on the toolbar. By holding down the mouse button and dragging, you can navigate through the timeline. You can zoom in until the first letter of the month appears. The 100% button returns the timeline to its original view. It's now time to save the timeline. In the Save menu, click the Save Timeline As option. Select the location for the file and press Place here. Enter the details for the timeline and click Save. You can display the timeline in view mode. At the top you can select the time periods, which will then be displayed. Clicking on the title of an anchor point gives you a large view of all the information associated with the anchor point. Now it's your turn. Create a timeline with a time period and add an anchor point to it, then save your timeline.